welcome to another edition of Soul on Soul with Finesse, which can be heard every Sunday night, 10 p.m. on My Soul Radio. Don't forget to follow My Soul Radio on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. My Soul Radio, your favorite connection for the best music and the best variety. And today, we are introducing one of the hottest new artists out there. You know what I love about this artist? I love their social media. I had a chance to really sit down this week and check out her social media. And I'll have her share that with you as well, and you can follow her as well. My special guest today is Miss Jaida Aneese. How are you doing, Miss Jaida?
Hello, hi, I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. So for the folks who may not know you, you're new coming into the music business, tell us about your humble beginnings as far as when it comes to music.
So I've always had a passion for music since I was a kid. And growing up, I kind of always wanted to be a singer, always wanted to write, always wanted to be an entertainer and, make YouTube videos and just do all this stuff. But I kind of felt restricted from that because I grew up in a smaller town in Ohio. And it wasn't as common for it was cool when we were kids, of course, everybody wanted to be a singer, everybody wanted to be a pop star, but I started getting older, hitting middle school, and it's okay, why do I still, have this dream? And I'm okay, well, eventually, late in high school, I was okay, well, I'm kind of grown now, and I still want to do this. I'm so follow it, try it out, work on it, try to grow with it. And so that's when I started to really start trying to teach myself and pursue music. And then, I got in the studio with some local producers and some family I have, my Uncle 314. And actually, when I was younger, I did go into the studio once. I was probably in fourth grade with my uncle. And I did a little song and, I didn't know what to do next. I didn't know what to do for my second verse. And he told me, he was like, Jaida, come out here. So I came out to the little booth and told me, splash some water on my hand out of a red Solo cup. And then he goes, you feel that? I was like, yeah. He was like, so whenever you're ready, he said, you'll feel it and you'll know. And so then years later, finally I called him. I was like, oh, I feel it. I'm ready to record. I put up me a little beat. I'm over here writing. And so then from there, it just grew, connected, met people. And so finally started chasing my dream despite what the outside world made me feel or what I felt like was possible from whatever situation. And then I got some connects in Houston. And then that's when we recorded Liquid and been working together since 2018, growing as an artist, and finally got to release my first single, Liquid, yesterday. So, yeah.
Well, congrats on that. We're talking with Miss Jaida Aneese, up and coming, gonna be one of the hottest new artists, I'm telling you, because she has a passion, she has a desire. And like I was telling folks earlier about your social media, I'm gonna give you the opportunity to share your social media and website if you have one so that folks can follow you.
Yeah, so go ahead and follow me on Instagram at Jaida_Aneese. That's JAIDA_ANEESE. And I actually have a link in my Instagram bio that'll take you to all my other social medias, websites, everything. So everything's on that link coming from my Instagram.
All right. Make sure you go check out her TikTok. Anyways.
Yes, TikTok too. TikTok is amazing.
So before we take our break, I want to ask you, what is it about music that you are so passionate about?
I think the thing with music that I find the most passion in would be the writing process. That's such a coping, I use it to cope a lot. So I think and it's amazing. And then being able to watch the process start from a single concept or a single feeling or a single situation and being able to watch it grow into a full song and just everything involved in it. And even if it's something emotional, just taking pain and making it into something bigger and better and something for other people to relate to. So I think that just being able to, that whole process in itself is really good.
All right. Well, we're going to take our first break here on Soul with Finesse. When we come back, we've got more with Miss Jaida we're going to find out what she thinks about soul music and who are some of her musical influences. So come on back, Soul on Soul with Finesse, My Soul Radio, Jaida Aneese. Make sure you follow us on all musical platforms. Follow Jaida on every platform she's on. Follow My Soul Radio. And of course, follow Soul on Soul with Finesse, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We'll be right back. The lovely, talented Jaida Aneese is here in the studio with me, Soul on Soul with Finesse. And as I said, every Sunday, 10 p.m., My Soul Radio, mysoulradio.com. Everybody always asking me, are you on a radio dial? We are internet-based radio station, and we are on 24/7 worldwide. Miss Jaida, I want to get back to you for a second.
Yes.
Every artist that I have on this show, I always ask them their definition of what is soul music. So that's my question to you. What is Jaida's definition of soul music?
Man, is the memory it brings. Growing up around my parents, listening to older, soul music, I think really just takes you back to your childhood. Like, if there's like a certain candle or a certain smell that just reminds you of something, and I just that comfort and having that feeling that comes with it is, I think that's what it is for me, is the memories in the childhood.
All right. So who are some of your musical influence? Some of your favorites? Who do you look to in the music business?
Some of my favorites. So I would have to say Alicia Keys, Rihanna, Chris Brown, Billie Eilish. I'm honestly, as a wide range. I love music, and but I would say those are my top. Her, of course. Say those are some of my top inspirations.
As a woman in the music business, what example do you feel you need to set for music artists that are younger music artists that are following you?
I would say my biggest advice would be do what you feel, because like I said, it took me so long to just listen to, what my dream was and what my passion was. And I think when you feel that, like, don't think, oh, because I come from a small place, I can't do it. Just chase your dreams and just don't stop trying, because if you don't try, then you're not going to get anything. But if you try, you have more of a possibility. So I just think, don't ever think that it's not possible.
One of the things as a young artist I've noticed about you, that you already have a team around you. What was that process about finding a team that works well with you? And you have an excellent team, by the way, I must say, communicates well. So talk about picking that team and why that team is important to you.
First off, I am very grateful for my team and so lucky and so blessed that I found them. And the process was, you meet people and sometimes you fall off or it just doesn't work out, And so whenever I finally did meet that team, it kind of started, obviously networking, you meet somebody, and kind of how I found it, it worked out for me is, you find people that you click with the best. And so when you find that one person that truly just like automatically feels like family, and you get these vibes and that connection with them, most likely they have that connection with another person. And so they can introduce you to that person. And, they'll say, hey, yeah, they're a cool dude, or they'll say like, hey, yeah, that's family. Like, they're going to have your back totally. And so you have so much trust in that one person. And then you just continue to grow and continue to meet people until you have just one core, like, amazing, helpful team. And I just think, and we're still growing, so, and it's still also new. But yeah, I would say that was the biggest thing for me.
And one of the things you mentioned, you're a writer. Most new artists don't try to do as much in their career when they start because they listen to their manager, what everyone else is telling them. What made you decide you wanted to make sure you had a hand in everything, writing, producing, or co-producing?
Well, honestly, I kind of started off more as a writer. And I was even contemplating at one point if I wanted to just be a writer. But And then everybody's like, I think you should be an artist. So it's kind of like flipped around, they're like, you have it, you can be an artist too. Like, just work on, work on all that stuff. And so that's when it was kind of like, okay, cool. So, and like I said, the main purpose for me writing is just to express things and let things out, or, tell somebody else's story. Cause I'm a very understanding person. And so when somebody's talking to me, I'm actually listening to them and I'm actually feeling what they, are saying. And so then that way I can put myself in a mindset and, put myself in their shoes and, create something out of, any, a situation.
What have you learned about yourself during this whole COVID lockdown, especially being a new artist? You want to perform, you want to get your music out there. What have you learned about yourself?
So during COVID, it didn't affect me as much as I think it did other people, especially because I'm recording in Houston, Texas, and I live in Ohio. So, that's kind of like when we get there, we get there. And so it's not like I was constantly, doing something and then it got cut off because of COVID, obviously other than writing, but, that just happens in my own atmosphere. So I didn't necessarily miss out on anything because of that. But learned, I think, more about putting feeling into what it is that I'm singing and, the articulation and the growth within that. And that a lot I learned in the studio in Houston with my producers. So I think just the whole process in itself, even being a new artist, like recording was new to me, not just too long ago. So even just that and seeing how all of that stuff works and being able to be in a real studio, and just not even just the studio, but the people, like we were talking about our team, when you just meet those people that you just work well with, that you can create magic with and have fun with. It's just like, it creates a whole total different vibe. And I think that's huge in getting through it, is just being able to vibe with the people that's helping you and mentoring you and creating that family foundation just to grow.
Did you feel any pressure because you're from Ohio, you're recording in Houston, Texas? There's a lot of musical roots in both areas. Is there any pressure to live up to those musical roots?
I wouldn't say any pressure really, just because I'm kind of grounded in, in who I want to be and who I am. And I just feel like each person has their own path in front of them. And it's not necessarily, I got to be like them, or I got to, do better than them, or this or that. It's just like each person is on their own path and they go where they go. And I think that's great in itself, just being able to have your own identity and, doing your thing.
All right. We're talking to Jaida Aneese. And what we're going to do here, we're going to take a little break. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about your music and your style. And of course, we're going to play your single, Liquid. So come on back, Soul on Soul with Finesse and Jaida Aneese. Welcome back, Soul on Soul with Finesse. And of course, Jaida Aneese is here with us, superstar. I'm going to start calling you a superstar because I can see it. I can see it coming. And you're going to be big. That way, when you do blow up, you'll remember Soul on Soul with Finesse and My Soul Radio, and you can always come back here and be with your family, because we were there for you in the very beginning. So I'm looking for you to do big things. In saying
that means a lot.
No problem. In saying that, let's talk about your style and your sound. What can people expect from Jaida Aneese when they listen to your music and when you finally get the chance to go out on the road and perform?
I would say just expect, life stories, and just expect, maybe even to be in your feels. Like I said before, I'm a very emotional writer, and I prefer, slower, deeper concepts and songs. And so, of course, that's what I create. So I would just say expect that. Expect some, emotions that we all don't necessarily want to talk about, but feel sometimes. And just, I think a lot of us, like to be tough and untouched. And I think we are, but at the same time, we all have a heart and we all have emotions. And so I just feel heartbreak too. I have some songs about heartbreak, and I just want to be able to for people to relate to that and connect to it and have something to go to when they're feeling a certain way, or if they're feeling misunderstood, you know, whatever. So I think I'm, you know, expect some more emotional feelings, I would say, just, you know, in that connection, because I'm hoping to bring that.
Now you have your single Liquid, which we're going to get into in just a little bit, but when is the full project we can expect from you?
That is still to be determined. We do have a couple things lined up, and I'm thinking what might be next is an EP, maybe even an album. But we'll see what's cooking up with that one.
All right. So before we play your song Liquid, talk about the concept and the process of putting this song together.
Liquid. So I would say Liquid is just this carefree love song. Windows down in the car, vibing with your boo, in love. You know, it's like you're so obsessed with that person and you find them so attractive and you're overwhelmed and you just have butterflies. It's like you can't take all of it, that you just like feel like liquid and you just want to melt just because of how that person makes you feel. You know, you feel so weak and like helpless because what can you do? Like, you're so in love. And so I think Liquid is just really about that feeling of being in love and just feeling like water, like you can't even hold yourself up because you're so in love. And the process of that, Liquid, actually started off as an emotional song, of course, more about, you know, loving people more than they love you. And it was real deep and sad. I had this concept, and then we just decided to switch it overnight. So I went back to the hotel in Houston and took our same melody and just kind of bopped it up a bit, you know. And then Eddie Ferguson, my producer, and Jay Tell, we all worked on just creating that little boppy vibe, and then it just came to life. And that's like what I was talking about before, that some of the magic is just flipping something and then just watching it grow, and just, it's just a little bop, you know?
So now I got to ask you this, because you got a big smile on your face. Is this song about something that happened to you in your personal life?
Liquid?
Yes.
I would say, yeah. I mean, when you fall in love, I think, you know, it's just all, you just feel like liquid, like, and it's just the vibe. So yeah, I definitely, when you're in love, you know, I talk about the connection you feel, you know, how they have your back. You know, I have one phrase, I say, shirt off your back, last bite of food. And that's just referring to that, like, I got you, you know, like, hey, we're in a whatever, some situation, like my shirt, like, I got you. Your last bite of food, I'm hungry, but hey, you know, we might be struggling, might not have nothing. I'm going to give you my last, you know, so that's just that kind of love. I think that hopefully everybody has a chance to experience in their lifetime.
Right. Now, the single dropped yesterday, which is 8/20/21.
Yes, sir.
Where can people go hear and support your music?
Hey, we got it everywhere. We got it on all major streaming platforms, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud. That's also provided in my bio on Instagram, like I said. So all you got to do is click the link and it'll take you to whichever you want to listen on, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. And we're going to listen to it here today. So
all right. So what we're going to do, Jaida, we're going to let you introduce your single and get into that. And after the break, we're going to come wrap things up.
All right.
So it's on you. Go ahead and introduce your song.
Okay, what's poppin', y'all? Jaida Aneese. Up next, we have my first single, Liquid, playing now.
All right, we'll be back. Soul on Soul with Finesse.
Something about the way we click, something new. The attraction, goofiness when you come through. Shirt off your back, last bite of food. You my baby, nobody comes close to you. I'm so addicted, vibes when we kick it, vibes when we kick it. Swear you the slickest, body turns to liquid, body turns to liquid. I'm so addicted, vibes when we kick it, vibes when we kick it. Swear you the slickest, body turns to liquid, body turns to liquid. Can't get enough, I really want. Right beside me, my shotgun. Wanna hold you all night long. Sing you to sleep to my song. Like, baby, go to sleep. I'm so addicted, vibes when we kick it. I'm so addicted, vibes when we kick it, vibes when we kick it. Swear you the slickest, body turns to liquid, body turns to liquid. I'm so addicted, vibes when we kick it, vibes when we kick it. Swear you the slickest, body turns to liquid.
Welcome back, Soul on Soul with Finesse. Jaida Aneese here, and that is a great song, Liquid. I like that. Even my producer Corey said he's feeling that, he likes that.
Oh, good. Thank you.
So we expect big things out of that. Thank Myron for sending it to us so we can play it. So appreciate that. In closing, what do you want people that are listening or watching you right now, what do you want them to get from your music and your style?
I want people to feel understood. I want people to get that connection of, it's okay to be not okay sometimes. And it's okay to be weak at times. It's okay to cry at times. It's okay to still be, a strong woman, a strong man, anything to get through life. And I hope that I can, like I said, just build that connection and understanding. Because there's a lot of things that people don't want to get into, but feel, and being able to have music to turn to during those times, I think is important to me. And I just don't want anybody to feel alone, and I don't want anybody to feel like, to give up, so just, and even if you are going through something, I also do understand too, that sometimes you just want to feel sad. And sometimes you want to, go through what you're going through and not always be super positive or be super, perfect. And that's okay, but then eventually, you do have to get to that point where you're, ready to move on and grow and get stronger. And it's just all a process. And I just want people to be able to feel those type of connections from me and my music.
All right. Now, one other thing I want to talk about, you're multi-talented. I understand you want to model and act. Talk about those two aspects that you want to add to your career.
Yes, I mean, that's just entertainment in itself. With being an artist, obviously you have photo shoots. So, I got to experience some of that. And acting, I want to be an actor too. That's been something ever since a kid, always sitting there. I was that kid that was repeating everything they said on TV, and everybody's like, yo, can you stop? We're trying to watch the show, copying the accents and, this and that. And, like you mentioned, TikTok, one of our biggest videos, I was talking in a Siri voice, and, I talk in this little fun British accent too. And, I just think that would be dope to put behind the screen. And I, took some acting classes in high school too. And so that's just always been something of mine, where I'll be, sitting there reciting movie scenes and this and that, so it's just, and I think that just all comes with, the entertainment and being a creative. So I'm excited to see what the future brings too.
All right. So we're excited to see your acting. We love the single, and we know a video comes with that where we can see some of your acting. When can we expect the video?
We can expect that August 27th, 2021. So that's coming soon. And expect all the vibes you hear in this song, that love, that young love, that, just expect it. Like, you'll see what I'm talking about for the video. It's super dope, super fun, entertaining, and vibes, so I hope that goes good too.
All right, we're looking forward to it. Now, for any producers that are listening and watching this and they want to work with you, is there a number or email that they can contact you?
Yeah, so on that link I talked about in my Instagram, there's a website button. If you click the website, my email's on there. My email is also on my Instagram, and that's just jaidaaneese99@gmail.com. And that's, like I said, you can find that on my Instagram, email, or that link.
All right. Jaida Aneese, has been a pleasure having you on Soul with Finesse. And you are welcome anytime. As I say, everyone that's on this show, you are family. So you come on back and share with Soul Media Group and we'll get you on. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Anytime. All right, folks. That's going to do it for this edition of Soul on Soul with Finesse. Don't forget, Soul on Soul with Finesse every Sunday evening, 10 p.m. Tell a friend to tell a friend, in the words of my man, Pele Roots. And we'll be back. Executive produced by myself, Finesse Stamps, and co-produced by my man, Corey Vivint. This is a Soul Media production. And you know how the soul do. You know how we get down. We'll see you next week. Soul on Soul with Finesse. Peace.
Soul on Soul with Finesse. 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 This has been another Soul Media production.